Hi friends, Vicky from my little Colorado cottage. I am back here to show you what I've done with the cubbies and my shelving unit here in my entry room. Um, Last week I showed you the top, and now I've had a chance to kind of rearrange these little cubbies. So I've kept most of what I had here before. I just recently purchased this little card online at an online auction for Thanksgiving. And I love my green bottles and my roosters, vintage roosters. Here's my one and only transferware plate there. I believe I found it for $5 last year. And I pick up doorknobs. It's got some feathers in there. This little, I guess, cubby I found last month. I got on this kick, I guess, that I needed little cubbies to kind of contain some of my littles. And so here, I believe I paid $1.50. And some of these things I've had. This green tin was another item I found online. I believe I paid $8 for it. And a little milk glass jar. A little brown container there. Oh, there you see the little stamp, the Mayflower. But the little metal dish back there is also has a flower frog in it. And then there's some more doorknobs. This clear jar, or I'm sorry, bottle, is a new purchase also. I think I paid just a couple dollars. And the little yellow tin in there. I think it is like for soldering. And then just some collected pine cones and bark. On my next shelf, here's a few new things here. Here's another postcard I just recently received in the mail that I purchased at an online auction last week. Last year, these little honeycomb turkeys I purchased, I believe it was at a yard sale. I got 3 of them for $3, I think. And then, you know, some more green vases. A piece of my milk glass pedestal. And a little vintage cookbook up there. This little green shelving unit I purchased last year. It's, let's see, it was made out of bamboo, and it was supposed to hold your tea bags and things. And I just painted it green and just put some of my little knickknacks. And those dried sunflowers came out of my yard this year. This is a new find, this Folger tin. I'm not sure if it's going to stay right there, but and there I've just kind of moved things around a little bit. This orange crush bottle I had downstairs with my other pop bottles, but thought it would look nice up here. And there's another cookbook, vintage cookbook. Okay, here's another cubby, another vintage postcard for Thanksgiving. And a couple of my rooster hens. Another little cookbook. I like the graphics on them. Another piece of milk glass, and a little contractor's pin is something I hadn't seen before. And then just I guess it was last Tuesday, because it's senior day, I found this little owl on a piece of wood. Oops, let me get the glare here. And it's got marbles for its eyes, which I thought was really cute. And if I can get over here. So let the old wise owl hold your keys. These are pieces that, you used to see kind of back in the late 60s, probably earlier than that, but I was a kid traveling with my grandparents, and in some of the curio shops they would have these little things that you could buy for souvenirs of where you've been visiting. And then I've got, my vintage turkey cookie cutter, which I think you all know. I love cookie cutters and always pick them up. This is a new find, this kind of a log cabin picture. I have one in my kitchen that's a little bit smaller, and I found this last week at my thrift store. I believe it was $3. And another milk glass piece. Okay, in this cubby, I've added some old books I've been slowly collecting. Of course, again, here's some doorknobs. This little celluloid chief doll I purchased online last year. I don't know. I did have it up in my grandkids' bedroom, but moved it down here. And then I just love the green patina on this can. Just some little doodads there. I'm splitting out my milk glass for these arrangements. And a real pheasant feather that my grandkids, when they were living in South Dakota, collected for me. Here's another one of those little, I think they're just an iron pot. They're awful heavy, but it did have a flower flog in it. And it was loose, so I took it out, and I'm using it other places. But here we have a couple of milk caps. And of course this little pheasant, framed pheasant picture tile that I purchased last year at the thrift store. This little bird card is new from my thrift store. I think it cost me 10 cents for their postcard, or their greeting cards. And I'm kind of losing my light here, so here is a rustic lantern, kerosene lantern. Of course, another milk glass vase, a brass quail that I found. I think I've had it a couple years now. Of course, this McCoy piece I've had for a while, and I'm still looking for a few of those. And this was kind of an oddity. I'm pretending that it's a pheasant made out of a wood burl. Brass lantern back there, and then pit berries and little pumpkins. Let me get back so you can kind of see the whole shelf of that. Oh, I forgot to turn on my light here, so maybe now you can see it just a little bit better. A little salt and pepper jug there. There's the lantern that looks a little better. And just some poppy seeds from my garden there in that, and a feather. Okay, friends, and lastly, this is the last cubby on my shelving unit. Here, let me see, another new item is another vintage cookbook. The meat cookbook. I think the graphics are so cool on that. Here, you know, I've had this. Let me get it steadier. I've had this green scale, was handed down from my mom when she kind of stopped doing the country decor or vintage decor. So I've had it around. This little Avon hen-on nest I've had for a long time, just never really showed it much. Of course, another green bottle with the faux bittersweet, which, you know, as a kid growing up in Nebraska, bittersweet grew everywhere. And on weekends in our drives, we would go and okay, sorry about that. My phone ringing. Where was I? Oh yeah, bittersweet as a kid, doing our weekend drive and collecting bittersweet for fall for my mom's home decor. Then we've got a cheese crock here, a very cute little pheasant I found last year at a yard sale. I always have a few of these cornucopias sitting around. Usually I put it on my dining room table. But there's another one of those feathers that I was gifted by my grandkids in South Dakota. This little green spray can is a new find. They are getting kind of expensive now, and I'm paying up over $5, which is kind of hard for me, but you know, that is the name of the game. There's my box of Bible verses. Some old kind of aqua bottles I've had for a while, but I had packed them away and kind of forgot about them. My mom lived in an old house a few years back, and they were digging up for a garden and found a bunch of these type bottles. They had root beer flavoring in them, which I thought was kind of neat. Here's another little pheasant that I found at a yard sale. And of course, I think if you've been watching my videos, you know that I collect this blue canning jars. And another doorknob. Okay, and now this box is a new find. I believe I worked a deal with the lady. I received this and some sewing machine drawers, and I got 3 sewing machine drawers in this file box, I believe for $40 for the 3 pieces. I was kind of excited about it. It does have a slide-in lid, but I've taken that out and so I could use it for shelving. And then my last purchase on this shelf is this little cigar box. Again, you know, I do have quite a collection of them. They're just vintage. They're nothing really to be excited about. Some of them are wooden, some of them are cardboard. This one happens to be wood. And I paid, I believe, $10 for it. And a an upscaled Dollar Tree pumpkin, and there's another few of those pheasant feathers that I was gifted. And I want to thank you all for stopping by and seeing my decorating and my new finds. I'll kind of give you an overall of what my cubby unit, shelving unit, is looking like right now. Of course, it's also a place for my grandkids to play their Wii here in the entry room. Thank you, friends, for stopping by, and don't forget me to a thumbs up or a like, and come back in hopefully another couple of days, and I'll have some more vintage finds to show you. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.